Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 428, 53. Apismarasi chatmanam avidhyata sakam sakhe hitva mam padam anvichan bhauma bhogarato gataha. Apismarasi. Do you remember? Cha. Also. Atmanam. The super soul. Avigyata. Unknown. Sakam. Friend. Sakhe. Oh friend. Hitva. Giving up. Mam. Me. Padam. Position. Anvichan. Desiring. Bhauma. Material. Bhoga. Enjoyment. Rataha. Attached to. Gataha. You became. Translation. The Brahmana continued, my dear friend, even though you cannot immediately recognize me, can't you remember that in the past you had a very intimate friend? Unfortunately, you gave up my company and accepted a position of its enjoyer of this material world. Please respond. The Brahmana continued, my dear friend, even though you cannot immediately recognize me, can't you remember that in the past you had a very intimate friend? Unfortunately, you gave up my company and accepted the position as the enjoyer of this material world. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Stated in the Bhagavad Gita 7.27, Ichchadivasya samutena dvanda mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sargayanti parantapa. O skin of Bharata, O conqueror of the four, all living entities are born into delusion, overcome by dualities of desire and hate. This is an explanation of how the living entity falls down into this material world. In the spiritual world, there is no duality, nor is there hate. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expands Himself into many in order to enjoy bliss more and more. The Supreme Lord expands Himself in different categories as mentioned in the Varaha Purana. He expands Himself by Vishnu Tattva, the Swamsa expansion, and in His marginal potency, the Vibhinyamsa, the living entity. These expanded living entities are innumerable, just as the minute molecules of sunshine are innumerable expansions of the sun. The Vibhinyamsa expansion, the marginal potency of the Lord, are the living entities. When the living entity desire to enjoy themselves, they develop a consciousness of duality and come to hate the service of the Lord. In this way, the living entities fall into the material world. In the Prema Vivarta it is said, Krishna Vairmukha hana bhogavancha kare, nikatasthamaya tare, japatiya dhare. The natural position of the living entity is to serve the Lord in transcendental attitude. When the living entity wants to become Krishna himself or imitate Krishna, he falls down into the material world. Right? Since Krishna is the Supreme Father, his affection for the living entity is eternal. When the living entity falls down into the material world, the Supreme Lord, through His Swamsa expansion, Paramatma, keeps company with the living entity. In this way, the living entity may someday return home back to Godhead. By misusing his independence, the living entity falls down from the service of the Lord and takes a position in this material world as enjoyer. That is to say, the living entity takes his position within a material body. Wanting to take a very exalted position, the living entity instead becomes entangled in a repetition of birth and death. He selects his position as a human being, a demigod, a cat, dog, tree, etc. In this way, the living entity selects a body out of the 8.4 million forms and tries to satisfy himself by a variety of material enjoyment. The Supersoul, however, does not like him to do this. Consequently, the Supersoul instructs him to surrender. Jai Shri Radha. To surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord then takes charge of the living entity, but unless the living entity is uncontaminated by material desires, he cannot surrender to the Supreme Lord. Bhagavad Gita 5:29, the Lord says, Bhoktaram yajya tapasham sarvaloka maheswaram suhirdam sarvabhutanam gyantvam santim ruchyati. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerity, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. The Supreme Lord is the supreme friend of everyone. However, no one can take advantage of the Supreme Friend's instruction while making his own plan to become happy and entangling himself in the modes of material nature. When there is creation, the living entity takes on different forms according to past desires. This means that all the species or forms of life are simultaneously created. Darwin's theory is stating that no human being existed from the beginning, but that human beings evolved after many years in simply a nonsensical theory. We came from the monkeys. Yeah? They teach in school these things. Can you imagine that? And we all have to pass exams saying yes, we all came from monkeys. Huh? Isn't it? From Vedic literature we find that the first creature within the universe is Lord Brahma. When the most intelligent personality, Lord Brahma, could take charge of creating all the variety found within this material world. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnanam Jnana Shulakaya Chakshuzan Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Satpitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatamitam Tam Sajim Shadvitam Shavadutam Parajanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaganvitam Ischam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Ganta Radha Ganta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishavanu Suta Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you for coming on to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Reading on the pastimes of King Puranjan. For those who are not knowing, King Puranjan, he fell down as a woman and he became wife of Malaya Dwaja, and they both retired to the forest somewhere in South India, and then Malaya Dwaja, he became a very pure devotee by meditating on the Lord. In fact, it is explained that he actually saw the Lord and he was in complete, taking complete instruction from the Lord. And he then passed away. So the wife, Vidarbhi, she is now lamenting. She is now alone, crying what to do. So in this situation, the Lord has appeared in front of her as a Brahmana and is speaking to her. So this is the second verse, I think, he is saying. My dear friend, even though you cannot immediately recognize me, can't you remember that in the past we had a very intimate friend? Unfortunately, you gave up my company and accepted a position as an enjoyer of this material world. So this is the position of not only her, with all of us. Because here we are now in the material world. We are now where? Material. That means what? We have all forgotten Krishna. Yes? We remember. All the time you remember. I remember I am always with Krishna. Yes? And the moment you walk out here, remembering prasadam. That we remember. Yes? Correct? Yes or not? So because we are conditioned now, what happens is that the moment we take a material body, then we get covered by Maya. You understand? And covered by Maya, what does it mean? What is that? So many places. Let's go here. Easy for you to remember. When the soul is under the spell of material nature and false ego, identifying his body as the self, he becomes absorbed in material activities. And by the influence of false ego, he thinks that he is the proprietor of everything. So this is how it covers, 327:2. I mean, this point is illustrated in so many places in the Bhagavatam. Not once. So many places. It's also there in 3:30, I think, when he's in the womb of the mother, he's crying and praying, oh, please forgive me for what I done. When I come out, I'm not going to make a mistake, I'm going to worship you, my Lord, correct? The moment he comes out, who? What? God? Where? Who? You see, you understand? Because Maya is so powerful. Maya is very powerful. You understand? Although we are spirit souls, we are not material, we are what? Spirit souls. But Maya is more powerful that it can cover us. Why is it so? Can you explain this? Although you are spirit, how is it that Maya can cover you? Huh? That means Maya is more powerful than spiritual energy. Is it? Why? Can you explain? Why the soul is spirit in nature more powerful than Maya, that the Maya can cover? Why? Ignorance. What else? Come on, all Pandits, tell me. I mean, we all are covered by Maya now. We have to explain.
More attractive.
Huh?
Maya is more attractive.
Maya is more attractive. Very good. They colorfully dressed. You dress white only. Their color, see, grey color, green color, blue color, so many colors. Why they dress like that? To attract you. So what else? Give me some answers. Why? Right. I think the next verse maybe, let me see. Alright, the verse is here. विष्णु शक्ति परा प्रोक्त चैत्र क्या तथा परः अविद्या कर्म संज्ञाय तित्रे तृतीय शक्ति इष्यते. The potency of Lord Vishnu is summarized in three categories, namely the spiritual potency, the living entities and ignorance. Right? Understand? There is only three things in the whole creation. One is the spiritual potency of Vishnu Shakti. The other one is the living entity, which is the what? Part and parcel, spark, tiny living entity. And the third one, ignorance, are called Maya. So there is only three things, right? One is Vishnu Tattva, the other one is called Jiva Tattva, and the third one is called Shakti Tattva or Maya Tattva. So the three Tattvas are there. The spiritual potency is full of knowledge. The living entity, although belong to the spiritual potency, are subject to bewilderment. And the third energy, which is full of ignorance, is always visible in fruitive activities. In other words, Maya, the living entity, is called spiritual potency, Maya potency, and it is marginal. It is called marginal energy. So he can go this way or he can go that way. You follow? Understand? So when he gets covered by Maya, just now we read, the moment he gets covered by Maya, he thinks he is the doer, the bewildered. So Maya has the potency to cover the marginal. Maya cannot cover the Lord. That's not possible. You understand? Maya will always stand behind the Lord. She cannot go in front because she is called darkness. You understand? Wherever there is Krishna, Krishna Surya Sama, where that verse? Maya Andankara, Yahan Krishna, Nai Mayari Adhikar. What is that? What is that? 20? 22:31. So this is a simple way of understanding this. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of external energy will be immediately vanished. So the living entity, being marginal, it can be covered by Maya. The moment he gets covered by Maya, he starts thinking he is the body. You understand? I am the body. I am not the soul. I am the... And he forgets God who is inside. He forgets. He covered. He cannot understand all these things. It is not possible. But to make him fulfill his desires, he cannot fulfill his desire by his own action. That is not possible. That is not possible. You understand? Like for example, you want to do something and everything, you desire. But to get that desire fulfilled is not in your hands. Who does that?
Activate by support.
Who?
Activate by support.
Your father, your mother. Who does it? My boss. Who does this fulfill your desire? Some unseen force. Who? The Lord? How does he do it?
Sitting inside. Supports of
Paramatma. He is sitting in the heart as Paramatma. He is sitting in the heart as functions as two functions. Upadrasta, Anumanta. Cha. What is this? Upadrasta and Anumanta? Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor who exists as the overseer and permitter and who is known as the super soul. So in other words, the Lord who is sitting in our heart, He witnesses our action and He also fulfills our desires. Are you following? So, but because we are covered by Maya, we cannot understand this. The moment our desire got fulfilled, oh, you see, I am the doer. I did it, Because of false ego, ahankar, prakriti, kiryamanani, gunair karmani sarvasha, ahankara vimudatma, kartaham. Iti manyate. That he, because by covered by Maya, he thinks he is the doer. Although it is done by the Lord. He cannot understand this. You understand? Right? And when he cannot do it, he blames others. Like now, if there is some problem, they blame God. He is the cause of all problems. And when something is successful, they take the credit. You understand? This is how Maya works. Completely cover the conditioned soul. You don't know what. Completely lost. You understand? That's why in this today's verse, you don't know, you don't remember. I am with you all along. You don't remember? How you can remember? Cannot remember. You understand? To understand the super soul, methods are many. Okay, I will discuss these methods of how to remember the super soul. One method is this, that you have to first do this method. Let us discuss this method and you see whether you like this method or not. Then we will try another method. Which method you like? Right? Huh? So here, as explained, the Lord is explaining to Uddhava. O brilliant Uddhava, one who thus views all living entities with the idea that I am present within each of them, and who by taking shelter of this divine knowledge offers due respect to everyone, is considered actually wise. Such a man sees equally the Brahmana, the outcast, the thief, and the charitable promoter of Brahminical culture, the sun, the tiny sparks of fire, and the gentle and the cruel. That means he is seeing, he is training himself to see God in the heart of everybody. Not only in the heart of the human being, in the heart of because now he is covered by Maya, no? So now he heard God is in the heart of everybody. Oh, so let me meditate. God is in the heart of everybody. Not only the man, the woman, everybody. He says here, correct? So he learns how to see the Lord in the heart of. Then by doing that constantly, for him who constantly meditates upon my presence within all persons, the bad tendency of rivalry, envy and abusiveness along with false ego are very quickly destroyed. So then by doing this constantly, then this bad quality is what? When we are stuck in this body, we have all what? Bad qualities. You understand? Correct? So what are the bad qualities? Rivalry, envy, ichhe dvishe samutena. That's not Prabhupada quoted the words. All of them are born in this material world with desire and hate. See? Envy. Abusiveness. We like to abuse everything. Yes? Correct? If one mosquito, one cockroach, kill the bird. Finish. We see one tree, please cut it down. Correct? Everything about us is what? Abusive. And along with false ego, ahankar, are very quickly destroyed. That means just by meditating on the Lord in the heart of everybody. Then what happens? This one is a little difficult to do. I don't think you can do this. Anyway, you can try. Disregarding the ridicule of one's companion, one should give up the bodily conception and its accompanying embarrassment. One should offer obeisances before all, even the dogs, outcasts, cows and asses, falling flat upon the ground like a rod. I don't know you can do this one. I think if you do that, they will take you and go and put in the madhouse. Huh? Is it possible? Correct? And then it says, until one has fully developed the ability to see me within all living beings, one must continue to worship me in this process with activities, with speech, mind and body. I think this program is a little difficult, isn't it? You want to try this? Huh? Well, you will definitely pay obeisance to the woman for sure. Right? Yeah? Correct? The program is, there's another program, you know, that since the living entity is associated with material nature, is in an awkward position. But in the human form of life, he is taught how to associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotee. This position can be overcome. So there is another method. What is this method?
Association.
What? He has to learn how to associate with the Lord and the devotee. That means, like here we have to do what? Deity worship, correct? And we have to associate with, yes, associate with devotees, do what is the association mean? You are rascal, Prabhu, you. Huh? What? Association means what? It can be anything, right? What is that? Huh? What is that association? Huh? What is that association? What is that? Come on. Huh? Shravanam. This is what it is. Satam prasanga mama virya samvido bhavanti hitkarna rasayana kataha tajosna dasva apavargavatmani sadarati bhakti anukramishyati. So this is the meaning of association. In the association of pure devotees, discussions of pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and heart. Understand this point? By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation. And after he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed, then real devotion and devotional service begin. You understand this point? So this is what association means. That if you want to come out of Maya, one method is to meditate on the Super Soul everywhere I explained. It's a little difficult for you to analyze that, because if you meditate on Maya, then mind will get attracted to Maya. This is not easy. You understand? But if you go and associate with devotees and learn how to worship the Lord by hearing and chanting, then it becomes very, what? You understand? See, it's explained here. One should learn how to associate with devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. As devotees thus develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. So, which method you want? Huh? Which method? Prabhu, I go to the temple, the devotee is always telling me all kind of crazy things. I don't want to go. Then, how to do? No, I will just go temple, I will bow down and I will go. There's another class also like that. So how? I have to surrender. Nothing can work without surrendering. You understand? If you want to come out of Maya, which is completely as what? Binded us. Maya is what? Tesipi tantra urudami badaha. We are tightly bonded. It's not that you are loosely bonded. You are what? Tightly bonded by the three modes of material nature. Tesipi tantra, swatantra, no? You're India. Oh, swatantra. What? Independent. Yes? January 31st. What date? What date? August. Oh, you August. So Swatantra, we are independent. There is no independence. We are tightly Tesi Tantra Urudami. Uru means rope. Dami means rope. Uru means tightly bounded. Cannot escape this Maya. There is no way. So, if we want to come out of this Maya, then there is only one way. Associating with devotees. Understand? By encouraging each other. By what? Encouraging each other, helping, serving. You understand? Then we will be able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. Then we can come out of this illusion. Thinking what? I am the body. No. You follow this point? See how scientific this is. In fact, without this method, it's very difficult for anybody to come out of Maya. It is not possible. It is what? Unless one is favored by pure devotee, one cannot attain the platform of devotional service. To say nothing of Krishna Bhakti, one cannot even be relieved from the bondage of material existence. It is not possible for you to do this meditating on this Paramatma and all these things. It is not possible. It is not possible. Only way you can come to this understanding that I am not the body, I am a spirit soul, I am a servant of Krishna, unless we associate with a pure devotee. That's why our society is different, I mean, our temple, everybody has temple everywhere. But those who go to the other temples and come here, two different situations. Because there they are completely covered by Maya. And they are only interested in how to get facilities, material blessings for furthering their material entanglement. They go, oh, please God give me more money, please God give me good wife, please God give me better husband, I don't know. But it's all kind of material desires. Unending. unending. Whereas here, you come here, I think I've noticed one fact that when I go and see the other temple, one unique thing is that nobody bowed down there. I never seen anybody bowing down in the other temples. Have you seen? All of them, or they touch the floor. Right? Have you seen anybody bowing down? Some people are, but mostly never. They think it's low class bowing down. They walk backwards. Whole life is backwards anyway. So you see how, it is, you understand? So here, one person commented, what are in your temple, you are bowing down so many times. He commented, why in your temple? I say, everybody is bowing down so many times. Huh? That's a secret. That is the what? Secret. How is it a secret? Huh? What is that word? Mam namaskuro. What is that? Manmana Bhava. So in the Manmana Bhava verse 9:30, 34, Krishna is saying, you see the word namaskuru. What is this namaskuru? Huh? What? What is namaskuru? Offer obeisances. Offer what? What is offering obeisances? This is a new word. I never saw this word in my life. What are obeisances? It's not a common English word, is it? Obeisances? Huh? What does that word mean? Huh? Bowing down. Very good. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisance to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So in other words, Krishna is saying how you can develop love for me. First, you have to think of me. Second, you have to become his devotee. Right? And thirdly, he is asking to bow down. And then worship me. So the four things we have to do. Only these four things we have to do. What is that?
Become devotee of the Krishna.
Think of Krishna first. Right? In order. Think of. Secondly, become his devotee. What does that mean? Krishna, I am your devotee. Like that? Krishna, I am your devotee. I and you are one, no? Yeah? Everything you get, give it to me. Everything I got, I will keep. This is devotee. What is a devotee means? What does devotee mean? Devotee means surrender. What is the sixth form of surrender? It is there, sankalpa. Is that? Is in that verse. No. In the CC, the whole line is there. Can you take it out for me? These are the 6 forms of surrender. Only 6. 1. What is that? What is that? Sankalpa. What is that first? Anukulya sankalpa, pratikulya na vivarjitam. 22.100. That's correct. So these are the 6 surrendering qualities. You have to remember this. Anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulāsya varjanam, rakshayati, visvaso, Gotriptve Varanam Tata Atmanichepa Karpanye Satvida Sharanagati. This is the word. Sharana. Sharanam Gati. I think you know, right? Sharanam means what? Surrender. Gati means what? Completely. Sharanam Gati. No other. Unconditioned. What's that? So these are the 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable for devotional service. What does that mean? What are the things favorable for devotional service? So in order to know this, you must learn from the devotee. You understand? You must associate with devotee to learn what are things favorable for. Understand enough? For example, just give you an example, eating food, correct? Huh? So, Prabhu, vegetarian, pure, I'm pure vegetarian, Prabhu. Krishna says we all should be vegetarian, right? Then but he is eating onion and garlic. Said, no, but it is vegetarian, no? Onion and garlic is vegetable, right? Another guy told me, why are you smoking? No, he said, this is leaf what? A cigarette is made with leaf what? Tobacco leaf? Krishna say, you offer me a leaf? Yeah, patram pushpam palam toyam, he say, offer a leaf what? So I offer cigarette to Krishna and I smoke. You see how understand? You follow? So we must learn how to do this from the help of a devotee. What is favorable? What is not favorable we should reject. Correct? For example, now I just gave you the example, the smoking. Krishna says you cannot what? Yeah, you cannot smoke. You understand? You follow? So these are the conditions that we have to learn. The conviction that Krishna will give protection. This is the important point. Only Krishna will give me protection. And not go here, go there, so many gods, this, that. No. Acceptance as the Lord as one guardian or master. Only Krishna is my Lord. Finish. Full surrender. Full surrender. No more questions of could be, might be, will, no. And then of course the last form of surrender is humility. Surrender without humility is like shedding crocodile tears. You know what is a crocodile tears? Is that term used in India? You don't use in India. You use also? That means is what? Crocodile shedding tears means what? False. Understand? It is not genuine surrender. So he has to be surrender with humility. So these are the 6 forms of surrender. That's why when Krishna says, become my devotee, you have to learn how to become his devotee with this condition. Right? Yes? And then become my devotee. And then what is the next one? Worship is lust. You cannot worship without offering obeisances. Correct? After you become devotee, you have to what? Obeisances. That's why we bow down in the front there. That all devotees we are bowing down. And then we are bowing down to the spiritual master. Correct? Then we are bowing down to Krishna. Yes? Yes or no? So the more we bow down, the more we form dandavat. You know what's the meaning of dandavat? What? Dandavat means what? Like a rod. Danda means what? Rod. And what means like. So dandavat means like rod. How you put the rod? Thread. So you offer with 8 angas touching the floor. You got what? How many angas? 8, sir. So touching food like this, that surrender, bow down like this. Actually bowing down means very vulnerable position, because you bow down like that, anyone can stab you, kill you, rob you, so many things. Yes or not? So that is surrender. I surrender completely, finish. So we have to learn how to do that, because when we are putting our big head on the floor, then humility comes. Correct? Yes or not? Otherwise you will be in Singapore. There is a statue in the, in the city hall down there. You have Raffles, have you seen that statue? You've been to Singapore, you sightseeing? You saw? Not only Mustafa, there's other places. Singapore got many other places, huh? Not only one place, Mustafa, huh? Yes? Yeah, have you been? You seen? There's tempered Raffles. How he is standing? Have you seen him standing? How is he standing? Jai, like that. Jai Sri Radha. So that kind of thing will not help. Surrendering means we have to put our head down on the floor. I have no more ego. That's why we chant. Apart from doing that, we chant this mantra, Nama. What? Namaha. Namaha. That Nama means got two words. What is that? Na and Ma. Na means what? No. Ma means what? Me. There is no more me. That's the meaning. What is the meaning? No me. Then what is there? If there is no me, then what is there? Huh? What is there? That means no more ahankar. I am not this body. I am a spirit soul. Namaha. Nama Om. You understand? So we have to give up. That's why unless we give up this desire to enjoy the senses, we cannot go to Krishna. Just now we read, right? Unless we give up this attraction for this body, we cannot go to Krishna. That's not possible. That's why we are trained to think, I am not this body, I am a spirit soul, I am servant. Jivere swarupa hoy, Krishna re nitya das. Where is that? I think it's in 22 also. 20, 22? 15. 22. What's that? 22, 108.
Sorry, 21.
21. So this is the position of the living entity. You see that? But it's not here. What happened? Huh? It's not in 21.
20.108.
So this is the one, two verses. Huh? It is the living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna. It is the constitutional position to be the eternal servant of Krishna. What does that mean? Just like water. What is the constitution of water? Liquidity. Correct? Yes? What's the constitution of sugar? Sweet. Correct? What's the constitution of soul? Pungent, right? Salty. So everything has constitution, correct? So what is your constitution? Correct. We are constitutionally servant of Krishna. Cannot change that. Cannot? You understand? Because he is marginal energy of Krishna and a manifestation simultaneously one and with different of the Lord, like a molecule, particle of sunshine or fire. Krishna, I have already explained that. Krishna has three varieties of energy. I already explained that just now. So because he is marginal and in the Bhagavad Gita, it is also explained that we are part and parcel of Krishna. Do you know where it is? You are Pandit, but we ask the others. Where it is said in Bhagavad Gita that you are part and parcel of Krishna. He never say, Prabhu, he never say. No, I read the Bhagavad Gita 10 times, he never say. We are all equal to Krishna. Yes? Where? Yeah, many people are saying this. We and God are same, Prabhu, equal. In fact, we are better than Him. Why you better? We are in the material world suffering. He is not suffering, he is enjoying. So we are better. Yes? Huh? Where is it said? Huh? 15:7. So here, see this verse, very important. Mamayangsa. Angsa means what? What? Jivaloke. Jiva bhuta sanatanaha manaha swastindriyani prakritisthana kashyati. Remember this, please. So we are eternally, the living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. That's now we read, they are constitutionally servant of Krishna. You follow? And due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which include the... You understand this? We are eternally part and parcel of... We are not whole, we are part. We cannot be whole. Cannot. You will explain also one verse is there. I think in CC 15, no, sorry, 19. I show you why we cannot become whole. You must know this. Because many people say God and us are one. God and us are one. One in quality, not in quantity. Right? So we must know this. I'll show you why we cannot become equal to God. So here it is explained why we cannot become one with God. This is not possible. O Lord, although the living entities who have accepted material bodies are spiritual and unlimited in number, if they were all pervading, there would be no question of they being under your control. If they are all pervading like you, then there is no control for them because they are very powerful. Correct? If they are accepted, however, as particles of the eternally existing spiritual entity as part of you, who are the supreme whole, we must conclude that they are always under your control. Is it this point? Unless we are part, only we can be saying that we are under the control of the Lord. If we think we are whole, then there is no control. If the living entities are simply satisfied being identical with you as spiritual particles, then they will be happy, being controllers of so many things. If they want to be happy, they must come. Jivere Swarupo Hoy, Krishnare Nityadas. If they want to become happy, they must come to the original position. Just like Prabhupada many times give the example. If the singer is part of my body and is doing well job altogether, it is very nicely situated, correct? But if I cut it and throw away, then what is the use of the finger? No use, correct? So the conclusion is that the living entities and the Supreme Lord one and the same is a faulty conclusion. It is not a fact. You understand? This is actually coming from 1087:30. It's on the Bhagavatam. Why I quote this is because the translation here is better. If that other one you read, you get confused a bit. You can check and see for yourself. So anyway, the point is this, that we are eternally part and parcel of Krishna. We cannot change that. At any point of time, past, present, future. You know, where Krishna said that. Where Krishna says you are eternally going to be part and parcel of me. Past, present, future. And give the others a chance. Krishna didn't say again. Krishna is taking too much of talking. He's saying so many things irrelevantly. Yes. This is in chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. I gave you another hint. This chapter 2 is basic, right? You must remember it by heart now. Yes? Correct? 2? Yeah, and remember this. Natvaham jaturnasham natvam nime jana dipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarvavayamataha param. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any one of us cease to be. In other words, we are eternally fragmental part, past, present, future. Finish. We cannot change that position. So therefore, if we want to come out of Maya and try to immediately take shelter of Krishna, the best way is to take shelter of a pure devotee. If we don't take shelter of a pure devotee, then this is not possible. This is not possible. We cannot. And this way we will keep on going on in this cycle of birth and death. Correct? And this way there is no end for our suffering. Covered by the mode of ignorance in material nature, the living entity, sometime male, sometime female, sometime eunuch, sometime human being, sometime demigod, sometimes bird, animal and so on. In this way is wandering within the material world, his acceptance of different types of bodies brought about by his activities under the influence of the mode of nature. So this will be going on and going on and going on, and if you like to always change dress, then fine, no problem. This human life is too much problem. I want to change to this. Maybe I like to be a crocodile. Nice. Change, no, correct? And after some years, crocodile live for how long? 20 years, 25 years. What did I say? After 25, another dress. With maybe snake. Do you like to do that? Changing dresses? It's not fun. It is not fun. You know why it is not fun? Explain to you. I think it is here. It is not fun doing this program. The subtle body is endowed with 16 parts, the 5 knowledge acquiring senses, the 5 working senses, the 5 objects of sense gratification and the mind. This subtle body is a fact of the three modes of material nature. It is composed of insurmountable strong desires, and therefore it causes the living entity to transmigrate from one body to another in human life, animal life, and life as a demigod. When the living entity gets the body of demigod, he is certainly very jubilant. And when he gets the body of a human, he is always in lamentation. And when he gets the body of an animal, he is always afraid. Understand this? Eh? In all conditions, however, actually miserable. Either the demigod or a what? Human or an animal. His miserable condition is called samsriti or transmigration in material life. So that's for Krishna has come and is speaking to Vidarbhi. You don't remember me. So if he remembers the Lord, that's why Krishna said, if you remember me, what he said? You remember me, what happens? Nothing happens. What happens if you remember me? What happens? What happens? Janma karma cha me divyam. Please chant. Evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti surjuna. If one knows the transcendental appearance of Maya, one knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activity, does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. That means if you remember this, then no more birth again, no more suffering. This is all. So that independence is in our, whether we want to take up the process, been marginal, either we want to come this way or we want to go that way. That's a choice. Correct? It's the choice of us. You understand this? Is it clear? So that independence is given to us. That's all. Choices we make. So we are independent in that sense. Actually we are not independent also. Because if we have this desire to enjoy, then the Lord will put you into that kind of Maya. You understand? We are controlled by the Lord in any way. All time we are under the control. And never at a time we are given, freedom to act like that. So, okay, we have covered the subject, I think. Any questions or comments? Do you understand how we all get into Maya? How? I don't know, Prabhu. Oh, that's a good answer. Yes? So please try to chant by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then it says, Krishna mantra haite habe samsara mochana, Krishna nama haite babe Krishna re charana. This is how, if you can chant, then this is what happens. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can obtain freedom from this material existence. Now another new thing, just now you say you remember, correct? Right? Most of the time we cannot remember. Correct? Yes? But chanting we can do? Oh, that also I don't remember. Huh? What? Chanting? You can remember? If you can remember chanting, then material existence is finished. Indeed, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. That's all. That's why it's so simple. Kali Yuga, it is so simple, you know. Kali Yuga, you see, Kalim Swabhava Jayanti Arya Gunagya Sara Bhaginaha Yatra Sankirtaneva Sankirtanayeva Sarvaswartho Vilabhyate. Those who are actually advanced in knowledge are able to appreciate the essential value of this age of Kali. Such enlightened person worship Kali Yuga because in this fallen age all perfection in life can easily be achieved by the performance of Sankirtanam. Yes? Indeed, there is no higher possible gain for embodied soul forced to wander throughout the material world than the Supreme Lord Sankirtan movement. Huh? Just now we heard, we are wandering, correct? Up, down, here, there, yes? Simply by what? By which one can attain the supreme peace and free oneself from the cycle of repeated birth and death. Finish. Just open the mouth and say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can do? Cannot do. Alright, cannot do also there is a verse. Everything there is a verse. What to do? I am sorry. Cannot do, right? Let's see, cannot do. All this cannot do. The holy name of Krishna is an attractive feature of many saintly, liberal people. It is an annihilator of all sinful reaction. It is so powerful that save for the cannot do. Who? Who the cannot do? Who? Dumb. I think a very popular word in Hindi, dumb. Dumb mere dumb. Yes, Alu Dum. I think they have that also. So dumb. So the what? So you want to become a dumb who cannot chant it. It is readily available for everyone, including the lowest type of man, the Chandala. The holy name of Krishna is the controller of the opulence of liberation and it's identical with Krishna. When a person simply chants the holy name with his tongue, immediate effects are produced. Immediate effects are produced. Chanting the holy name does not depend on initiation, pious activity or Purushacharya's regulative principle, generally observed before initiation. The holy name does not wait for any of this activity. It is self-sufficient. So, please open big mouth, small mouth. Where? Which mouth? Big mouth. And say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Alright, we stop here. Any questions, any comments, anything? You don't want to say anything, you want to get out of here, I think. I want to get out of this place, boy. Too much, you know. So many verses. Very confusing. All right. Anybody on that? On that? Nobody. Okay. We stop here then. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.